What's up guys, Daniel here. Nice to see you in the daylight. In this video I'm going to show you how to play Lady May by Tyler Childers, and I just want to preface this by saying this is probably not going to be my best tutorial because it was really difficult to explain all the picking patterns. This is going to be super challenging if you're a beginner, but if you follow along with the tabs and go slow, you'll be able to play this by the end of it. The song is in standard tuning with a capo on the 3rd fret. Let's go ahead and get started with the intro. Alright, we're going to start off with the C chord. So we got 3rd fret A, 2nd fret D, open G, 1st fret B. The first thing we're going to do though is hit D and G at the same time and pull off the 2nd fret of the D string. From here, you're going to go 3rd fret A and you're going to pluck it 3 times and then go back to an open D. Now from here, you're going to strum down on the D, G, and B strings and hammer back onto the 2nd fret of the D string. If you strum the whole chord, that's okay too. Now you're going to come back up, and if you can, just do it on the B and the G string. And then you're going to pluck 2nd fret G and pull off to open again, and then come back up again just on B and G if you can. From the beginning, a little bit slower. And regular speed. Now from here we're going to move to an F major 7 chord. That's 3rd fret D, 2nd fret G, 1st fret B. I want you to leave the G string open though because we're going to hammer onto it here in a second. You're going to pluck this one, 3rd fret D, and then you're going to come up again on B and G. By the way, if I tell you to strum up, try to do it just on the B and the G strings. So you're going to come up on B and G, and then come back down and hammer onto the 2nd fret of the G string. And then come back up again on B and G. And from here we're going to go back to C. You're going to pluck 3rd fret A, come up on B and G, then strum down with the hammer onto the 2nd fret of the D string like we did before, and then come back up on B and G. So from F major 7 to C. And now the whole line all together. Regular speed. Now we're going to move on to the next line. Now for this next line, we're going to start with an F major 7. So again, that's 3rd fret D, 2nd fret G, 1st fret B. You're going to leave the G string open because we're going to hammer on. We're going to start by plucking 3rd fret D, and then you're going to strum down and hammer on to the 2nd fret of the G string. And then you're going to take your middle finger off the 2nd fret of the G string and strum down again. So it's going to go. Now we're going to hit 3rd fret D one more time, and then switch to the next chord, which is C. So. Now we'll switch to C, and we're going to play this one, 3rd fret A, come up on B and G, down and hammer onto the 2nd fret of the D string, and then come back up on B and G. So from the beginning there. Now what we're going to do is a walk up from an A minor to a C chord, which is going to start the second half of the intro. So in A minor we have open A, 2nd fret D and G, 1st fret B. You're going to pluck open A, come up on B and G, and then you're going to pluck open A again and hammer on to the 2nd fret. And this is going to be your C over B chord. It's just 2nd fret A, 1st fret B. So you do that hammer on, come back up on B and G one more time. And now we're going to switch to the C chord. You're going to pluck 3rd fret A, and then pluck open D, hammer onto the 2nd fret, and then open G. So. So now the second line we just learned all together. Now after you play that C chord, we're going to start that entire progression one more time, and we're just going to change the way it ends. So after that C, it's going to play like this. So like I said, the only thing that changes is that last C chord after you do the walk up. So again, we have the A minor walk up to C. So once you get to C, what you can do is pluck the 3rd fret of the A string. You're going to strum down and hammer onto the 2nd fret of the D string, just like before. Then you're going to come back up on B, then go open G, strum down again with the hammer on, and then go B, G, 2nd fret D, B, G. So with that walk up, so now the intro all together a little bit slower. And regular speed. And that's how I play the intro. Next part up is the verse. It's going to sound like this. Well, I'm a stone's throw from the mill, and I'm a good walk to the river. My working day is over. We'll go swim our cares away. Put your toes down in the water, and a smile across your face. Tell me that you love me, lovely Lady May. So for the verse, we're going to start out with the C chord again. You're going to pluck 3rd fret A, and then you're going to strum down on the chord and do a hammer onto the 2nd fret of the D string. Then you're going to come back up on B and G, then open G, strum down again with a hammer onto the 2nd fret of the D string, and then you're going to go up on B and G, 2nd fret D, up on B and G. Switch to an F major 7 chord. You're going to pluck 3rd fret D. You're going to come back up on B and G, leave the G string open, and then come down and hammer back onto it, and then come back up on B and G. So from C to F major 7. Now from here, we're going to switch back to C, but we're going to play it differently. So we're going to pluck that C chord, 3rd fret A, come up on B and G, then you're going to do a down strum and hammer onto the 2nd fret of the D string, and then come back up on B and G, and then we're going to switch to F major 7. F major 7, we're going to play just like we did before. So we got 3rd fret D, up on the G and B string, down with the hammer on, and then come back up on G and B. And then we're going to switch back to C and play it like we just did. A, up on B and G, down with the hammer on, up on B and G. So they're really quick switches. So from the beginning. Well, I'm a stone's throw from the mill, and I'm a good walk to the river. My working day is over, we'll go. Now the next line changes, but what's nice about it is that you already learned it. It's just the last part of the intro you just learned. So we're doing that walk up from A minor to C. So on the A minor, pluck A, come up on B and G, A, hammer onto the 2nd fret, up on B and G, then 3rd fret A, strum down with the hammer on that C chord, up on B and G, open G, down with the hammer on, up on B and G, 2nd fret D, up on B and G. I know that sounds like a lot, but we're really just going up and down. So that walk up. Lovely Lady May. Now you're going to play that whole progression you just learned for the next part of the verse. Put your toes down in the water and a smile across your face. Tell me that you love me, lovely Lady May. And that's how you play the verse. Next part you're going to learn is the chorus, and it sounds like this. Now I ain't the sharpest chisel that your hands have ever held, but darling, I can love you well till the roll is cold on high. And I've seen my share of troubles, and I've held my weight in shame, but I'm baptized in your name, lovely Lady May. So the chorus is just a combination of what we've learned from the intro and the verse. We're going to start off with an A minor, and you're going to do a walk up to C, similar to how you did before. So you're going to pluck open A, up on B and G, A again, hammer onto the 2nd fret, up on B and G, and when we get to C, you're going to pluck 3rd fret A, come up on B and G, down with the hammer on, and then back up on B and G before switching to the next chord. Next chord is going to be an F major 7, so we're going to pluck 3rd fret D, come up on B and G with the G string open, come back down and hammer onto the 2nd fret G, and then come back up on B and G, and then you're going to go back to C and play it the same way. 3rd fret A, up on B and G, down with the hammer onto the 2nd fret of the D string, and then back up on G and B. So that first line is just this. Now I ain't the sharpest chisel that your hands have ever held. And the next line we're going to start with a walk up again, but we're going to extend the C chord when we get to that. So it's going to go A, up on B and G, A with the hammer onto the 2nd fret, up on B and G, and then when we get to C, we're going to extend it like we did in the intro and the verse, really. So it's going to be 3rd fret A, strum down with the hammer on, up on B and G, open G, down with the hammer on, up on B and G, 2nd fret D, up on B and G. Now we're going to switch to the F major 7 chord, play it 3rd fret A, up on B and G, down with the hammer onto the 2nd fret of the G string, and then up on B and G again, and we're going to switch back to C. So we're going to start off by plucking the 3rd fret of the A string, up on B and G, strum down with the hammer onto the 2nd fret of the D string, up on B and G again, open G, down with the hammer on, up on B and G, D, up on B and G. So this second line all together. Darling, I can love you well till the roll's cold on high. Now for the next line, we've got another walk up, but we're going to do a shortened C, switch to F major 7, and then an extended C. So starting with that A minor, just like we did before. When you get to C, you're going to do the shortened version. So that's A, up on B and G, down with the hammer onto the second fret of the D string, and then up on B and G again. And here we're going to switch to F major 7, 3rd fret D, up on B and G, down with the hammer on, up on B and G again, and finally we're going to go back to C, and we're going to play 3rd fret A, up on B and G, down with the hammer on, up on B and G, G, down with the hammer on, up on B and G, 2nd fret D, up on B and G. So all together. I've seen my share of troubles, and I've held my weight in shame, but and now the next line, we're going to go back to F major 7. We're going to play a D, up on B and G, down with the hammer on, up on B and G, and then switch to the extended version of C, which is 3rd fret A, up on B and G, down with the hammer on, up on B and G, open G, down with the hammer on, up on B and G, D, up on B and G. But I'm baptized in your name. And now we can do the last line of the chorus, which is just a walk up with the extended C. Lovely lady May. So that C chord again, we're going A, strummed down with the hammer on, up on B and G, open G, down with the hammer on, B G, 2nd fret D, B G. So that last line, lovely lady May. So now the chorus all together a little bit slower. Now I ain't the sharpest chisel that your hands have ever held. Darling, I can love you well till the roll's cold on high. Now I've seen my share of troubles, now I've held my weight in shame, but I'm baptized in your name. Lovely lady May. And that's how I play the chorus. Now the last thing I want to show you is just the very ending of the song. So he's going to play that intro progression one more time, but at the end he's going to change up the last C chord. So if we were going to play the second half of that riff, it's going to go... That's the only part that changes. So after you do that walk up from A minor to C, you're going to pluck that 3rd fret A, you're going to strum down with the hammer onto the 2nd fret of the D string, and then do it one more time, and let it ring out. And that's it. And that's the end of the lesson. I know it was a bit of a clusterfuck because it's really hard to explain all those different ups and downs and which strings to hit, so sorry if that was confusing. Hopefully we were able to learn it. The tabs show exactly where you want to hit the strings, and you just figure out what is most comfortable for you if the way I explained it didn't make sense. By the way, the tabs are available on my website for free. The link is in the description. If you want to leave a request, go ahead and do so by leaving a comment below. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to see more like it. I will see you guys in the next lesson. Thanks for watching. Peace.